Hey, what's up, y'all? Um, Fancy week, second fancy week, I guess. I don't know. I've been posting a lot of videos, trying to create a lot of content during the quarantine times, and today I thought I was going to take the day off. I had a good streak there, though. I had like what eight days straight, 9 days straight, I think. But I had some things in the mail today from a friend, a really good friend of mine. For those who don't know, I got a core group of builders out there who have become really good friends of mine in the hobby for the past few years, and then just recently, this last year, I started because I was talking to each of them separately, and I was like, we're all really good people. Let's come together. So my scrap bros, love you guys. Um, we One of the best things to happen to me in the hobby was finding those guys and becoming friends with them because um, they're everyone trades, things for each other. It's like, hey man, you don't have that, I'll hit you this. Tell you what, you just give me this next time. And it's like, hey man, you want this for, however, I know you like it. And it's like, oh, dude, you sure? It's like, yeah, man, happy birthday. Like it's it keeps me going. It keeps me sane in this in this hobby, really. But Joss, one of my good friends, I've done a saber for him on this channel. This gorgeous saber. I actually have it again. He shipped me like about three hilts that we're gonna talk about. I got some videos on those specifically, but he sent me two for a repair, and one will be an install later on down the road. One thing that I was very happy to get my hands on, and one of the reasons why I stayed up way too late doing this thing, because I was like, it has to be done. Been one heck of a day, guys. Lots of saber repairs. One of the parts about buying sabers and collecting them and working on them is maintenance, man. You're gonna have problems. Nobody had a saber that never broke in 10 years. If you did, holy cow, I'd love to see it. It's probably super dated, but it's always something. Broke speaker, LED goes out, switch broke or something. Always something. Today was a lot of that. I had my own personal saber. My speaker pod was messing up, and I had to redo all this stuff, and it was just a nightmare. So then I had Joss's Vaders fault. See, this is why I really wanted to do this this video as well, is because I don't have any Vaders faults. Vaders Vault is a company, for those who don't know, I think based out of Georgia, and they're highly regarded in the community as they make really beautiful hilts. Me personally, there's only a handful that I would love to own. They're come fully installed, so that's a huge turnoff for me. Is I don't want to pay, however much it is, which is worth it, I'm sure. But just to get it and turn it on, that's cool. Because for me, the number one most fun part of the hobby is what can I make, and I want to make it. I want to do as much of it as I can. So I've only seen Vaders Vaults in person with like some friends at like conventions of like, hey man, let me hold it, and then like I grabbed it and I was like, it is small because it's a very very well known that they make really small hilts, very very slender and sleek. So it's cool. It's cool to have it on the desk and to play with. This one heavily customized by Joss. Joss does a lot of customization, and I've always been a sucker for what he comes up with. Same with my buddy Dylan, Daniel, my scrap bros. We all share each other's work in progresses, and it's always so good. And I'm like, yes. And then I got to step my game up. Y'all are killing me with all this awesome stuff you got. I'm like, I can't keep up. But I love seeing it in person. That's another thing that really gets me going. So this is, or was, a Vaders Vault Havoc. Personally, I've never been a fan of the Havoc. It just kind of looks very, I wouldn't say plain, but very streamlined. It's just, it has these little emitter windows, and that's it, and then it's just a long body. Because most of what Vaders Vault are combat sabers. Like, they want it to be beautiful, but also small. I mean, look how small. I think it's small. It's tiny. Very tiny. Very, very tiny diameter, which makes the install super tight. Holy cow. Tighter than never mind. Okay, listen. So this is customized like crazy, and Joss has just the best taste because I love brass. Come on, y'all. I love brown. I love brass. I love gold. I love weathered. It's just perfect. So he took his brass shroud, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but is that from a Canon Y? They use him and Dylan Denbick from Denbick Relics. They use a lot of Canon Y flash Canon vintage pieces. I'm still seeing. That's another thing. I'm like, I gotta get on it, guys. I'm taking too long. But this is just, I love it. I'm a huge sucker for the offset brass, aluminum, brass, aluminum. I'm gonna steal that, Joss. I'm gonna find a way to do it. And I'm taking credit for this. I showed him where to get those. I was like, yo, dude, you want to get some of that stuff? I'll tell you where to get it. Not to steal your thunder, Josh, because this, I didn't even think about that. That's so cool. Right in the card, you put a little brass bar in the cobalt. I love doing these too. I like to put the little chopped up card in the cobalt. But I have never seen the cobalt be used with a Vader type hanger. So that's really cool. Props to you, man. And then the pommel, I think he's customized quite a bit himself. So let's go ahead and get to it. 6 minutes in. I think 6 minutes is about the mark where I throw a blade in. Just because I'm going to show you guys the blade real quick. And then I don't have a blade plug. And then we'll go over some of the fonts without it. You know, why not? Because I like to play. And I'm going to play. Neopixel. Forgot to say this is a CFX. I mean, surprise, surprise. I feel like people think I'm like the CFX specialist, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I just do a lot of them. I like them personally. I think they're very fun. They can be a pain in the butt, and I've done other boards as well, but I always end up getting like CFX just has everything I want. But I've also got a special surprise that I'm going to be very, very excited about, and that video is coming. That's going to be really good. I'll tease about it later on after the video. All right, so I think I set the settings to quick ignite, so it's just going to jump on. Oh yeah, and this is Etan Crystal. I put Etan Crystal, stop. And Knighthood on here for you, Joss. Whoop. Spectrum. So the switch, AV switch, is under the wrap. Dome tactiles right there. It's a little hard to push, but I think that's part of the allure, the magic. It's got the Veco 22 bass speaker, I think, whichever comes stock, I believe, with Vaders Fall. Oh, I'm gonna change that. Alright, let's move on. I'll go through a couple fonts and then talk a little bit more about it.
Audio player.
Nightfall.
A lot of this is stock fonts on the CFX. When you buy it and you install it, you're gonna get these fonts. A lot of them. Some of them not so much, but yeah, it's pretty cool to play with. Very slow. Oh yeah, that's the one thing. One thing I don't like about it is the smooth swings are so freaking quiet. I don't understand that font. Why would you do that?
Soundbank selection.
Nightfall.
Crystal focus.
Crystal Focus is cool. Recently found out it's made by a friend of mine, and I was like, oh, no wonder I keep it on there. Oh, so it has blade effects. I sounded really enthusiastic about that. Oh, blade effects? I guess it's got some. But it's got a few blade styles that are already in there. If you're into that sort of thing. I'm kidding. That power down's cool. Sounds like some kind of like, I don't know, what is that? Something running away, like some kind of. It reminds me of like some Disney droid or some Pixar droid running away.
Sound bank
Trying to
selection.
hide.
Crystal focus.
Hoth, this is all stock. Another one of those crazy blade styles. This is like a flame blade, kind of. Pretty cool.
Sound bank selection.
Shatterpoint. You've heard all these. If you haven't,
Vengeance.
Vengeance. Let's hear Vengeance, because these are ones that I don't know. I don't know who the maker is. I don't know anything about it. Oh yeah, actually I have heard this before. Vengeance is cool. Oh man, chopped a little off the top of my dude. Hey, a haircut, y'all. So close to just shaving it. Just going ahead and go bald. Next video, I might be freaking just. Yeah, I'm changing that. There's a setting you can go into if you hit your flash or your lock up and it's just a white color or whatever. You go into your settings, you can change that to where you can mix all of them, so it's like really like a crackle, and it's like too much to even deal with, which is what I like. I like all my sabers to be painful in some aspect, either visual or audio. Just hurt me, man.
Sound bank selection. Vengeance.
Kylo Ren. I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
I have too. Oh, we got a flame. You see that? That's a cool little flame. Ooh. You guys like that? I wonder if it has any tracks. Oh, that's the one. That's enough of that. I think it was actually just the boot. That was the whole song, but that's cool.
Sound bank selection.
Kylo Ren. Lord Vader.
Ooh. Got some chicken nuggets, y'all. Mmm. Vader, every time. Classic. Sorry, no. I'm hungry. Oh. Very interesting. Not sure I like that. Yeah, some of these settings are a little different. Not my jam. Like, just a yellow blade, or like a line, locks up the line. I don't know. That's just weird to me. Now that's cool. Your flash on clash is yellow, so it's quick. That's old school for me, man. I used to do that on an RGB tri-creep. But I might fix that. Yeah, if you go and switch your lockup, make it 1111 in the F mix or whatever. F mix. Then it'll mix all the colors, and it'll mix it all. So red and yellow will be just pretty sweet. All right, moving on.
Sound bank selection.
Lord Vader. Traitor!
We heard of Kylo.
Prototype 1.
Interested. Prototype 1. You have my attention. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. Weird. Josh, is this you playing with all these weird color flames? That is kind of neat on camera, though. Very interesting sound font. Kind of quiet, like the swings. Ooh, that power down is slow and kind of mean. Yeah, so again, I didn't do any of these settings. Because my settings are dope. I'm kidding. There's some that I would like to change.
Selection.
Prototype 1.
I'll ask you, Josh, what you want to do.
Best fit.
Best fit. Classic. Give it to me. There we go. And the saber just looks good in all colors. Green especially. I love this saber with a green blade going on it. That is just... You know what I'm saying? I do have to say, this is a very, very comfortable hill. What's up? Y'all, it's way too late. I've been building lightsabers for way too long. Just in my brojo, you know what I mean? My Raj Mahal is what I call it. Only dudes can come in here and play with lightsabers. If they pass the test. I ain't bringing just any normal nerd in here, man. You gotta like
Sound
answer
selection.
Best fit.
answer the secret questions.
Ancient prophecies.
Ooh. Tell me more. You have my attention again. Ooh. What is that? Cool, very, very cool. I like that. And that hum is crazy. That's a cool font. Something in the background, I can't tell. Like whispers. That's creepy, and I like it. Ooh, that's a cool font. I'm gonna need to know more. Would you like to know more? Well, isn't that Starship Troopers? Would you like to know more?
Sound bank selection.
Ancient prophecies. This is General Kenobi.
General Kenobi, pretty cool, my boy.
Hello there.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you guys, this hilt in green, masterpiece. Oh man, Josh, you did such a good job, man. Proud of you, boy. Proud of you, son. I mean, it's just all the brass, aluminum, brown, green. This is what I would have. This is what my, if I was a, this is what I would be doing. This is, it would be green, it would be all of this, man. Every bit of this would be, I want this saber. Give it to me. It should be mine. It would make a fine addition to my collection.
Sound bank selection.
This is General Kenobi. Knighthood.
Knighthood, my boy, AA Ron, Fonts by Force. If you guys don't know, right now you go to saberfont.com. You can download for free for the month of April, Knighthood. Fonts by Force, my fancy dude. I'm fancy, and he's supplies the fancy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a big old fancy party, man, and I'm down. Knighthood's dope. I think we started on this, but let's just ride it out, man. good. Aaron, if you're watching, Aaron, I love this font. That hum. Oh, no, I want green. Yeah, we gotta change that, man. It should be scary in your face. Listen to those swings. I believe that's it.
Sound bank selection.
This is General Kenobi.
And then Eton Crystal. That's what I started on.
Knighthood.
But I want to play with Knighthood. Alright, guys. There's that blade. Oh, and it's a tight fit. How much is that? No! Family friendly. Gosh, Benji, you need to behave, man. And you just can't, can you? Ridiculous. Okay. So, a little bit more. God, that's just beautiful, dude. That is so stupid gorgeous. I'm seriously, I'm impressed at what you did, Joss. So, Joss, I didn't know this until today. He, I don't know how much he wants me to talk about this, I guess. Shouldn't be embarrassed. This kind of stuff happens. He sold this hilt to somebody. The guy had it, and then it crapped out on him. So Joss sent it to me to get a quick fix. And I thought it was originally just a speaker. I may have said that in the beginning. I don't know. I'm a little tired. But I tried to switch out the speaker. Swapped out with two different speakers that were brand new. Now they're used. But I did that. I'd also used one of my Vecco speakers that I have extra just in case. Nothing worked. I tried different batteries that I had, fully charged battery. Nothing worked. Swapped out the SD cards. Nothing worked. Checked all. I spent a while troubleshooting this, and then he was like, "Oh man, that sucks," because the guy just got it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what do you mean? What guy? I thought this was yours." And he was like, "No, I sold it to somebody. Now I feel bad because it's not working, and now I gotta figure out the soundboard and all that stuff." And I was like, I have an extra CFX that I pulled out of a board that I was just gonna throw into something else, I pulled it out of a Saber, and it was extra, and I was like, well, hey man, I will install this CFX in here as long as you let the guy know, and it's a used board, but not by much. I installed it. It was on one of my Sabers that's just a showpiece, and it's too quiet. So it really hasn't been used. I turned it on, made a video with it, and I was like, yay! And then I'll turn it on every now and then, and I'm like, oh, boo, it's too quiet. So this soundboard is very good to go. But the original soundboard, I believe, may have crapped out. So he's going to try to send it back to Irv and see what he can do. But I was very happy to get this done, very determined to get this done. Because I was like, no, this needs to be done. So I fiddled with it a lot tonight into the early morning. Oh Lord, oh gosh, it's way past my bedtime, but I had a lot of fun. I've never had the joy of working on a Vaders vault, because again, they come fully installed, and anybody who has a Vaders vault empty hilt, it don't last long. Everyone snags it. So this was very fun for me to get going, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a really cool saber, mainly in part to Joss. I mean, people may be like, oh, whatever, the Havoc, Vaders Vault, because there's people who love Vaders Vault, man. You better be careful saying something bad about them. They'll crucify you. They'll be, how dare you speak ill of a lightsaber company? Like, dude, you guys do it all day long. Like, that's what you do. You're like, screw them, they suck. These guys cool. Screw them, they suck. These guys are cool. Dude, I don't care, man. I say it how it is, man. I'll tell you what it is. If it's a beautiful, fun hilt and I love it, cool. If it's not, I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, dude, that hilt sucks. I'm just going to let you enjoy it and move on with my day and go on with my sabers, man. I hate when people do that crap. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Ultra Sabers. I think most of them are ugly, and I don't care for them. But I'm never going to be like, somebody post a picture and be like, look at the customization I did on my Ultra Sabers with my leather wrap and my shroud and all that stuff. I'm never just going to be like, oh, yeah, dude, that sucks. It's an Ultra Saber. Boom. Like, you guys need to quit that crap. Anyways, but this is just how I feel about it, because I've seen Vaders Vault Havocs. I've seen plenty of them. I've been in the hobby for years, 5 years. And I've never fallen in love with one. I've always been like, yeah, cool. I guess it's it's very basic in my opinion. It's a basic saber, and they're all designed to be that way. But this, just gives it so much life, and I fell in love with it. And that's Joss doing his thing, man. And I love seeing that kind of stuff. So, yeah. If you are watching, I believe you guys are watching out there. If you're watching, whoever is getting this saber, I'm sure you've seen it. Obviously, I think you've played with it. This is the first time I've messed with, like I said, any Vaders Vault. Internals, chassis, any of that stuff. I believe this was installed by another installer, though. I don't think it was originally. Vaders Vault doesn't seem like it was Vaders Vault like a Vaders Vault install. So I redid the board, or obviously I swapped out the entire board, but I kind of did it as best I could because I used his wiring for the most part and tried to bring it back up. So what you're gonna do is obviously, once you get it to a certain point, right, when it comes out, take it in your hand, hit your hand until it slides out a little bit like that. Then you can pull on it. I put the wires on top just because I had to, man. And it'll do. I mean, hey man, it works. Saber works. Pull it all the way out. Now you can get your battery. Make sure you use a 15 amp high drain battery for neopixel. And then your board, you want to make sure it doesn't pop up. I put some tape. You keep it down back there. This happens every time. You and put some protective tape over some of this. Vaders Vault does it, so I don't want to hear it in the comment section. You put a little protective tape. Yeah, this is the tightest freaking. I mean, as soon as you push it in, there's no clearance between board, battery, and the wall of the saber. I mean, normally you want it to be like that, but not to this extent. It is very tight. I mean, it works. But then whenever you go to put it back in, you may end up twisting it some ways, and it might not go in. That's because all the wires are up in here, obviously. So you just find that little good median, and if it starts to feel a little crazy, pull it out, wiggle it about. So once you get it kind of in there, don't push on the actual speaker. You can push a little bit on the edges. Once you get it to a certain spot, you use the pommel, push it in, and let the pommel do the work, pushing the chassis back in there. This way, my work can be spared for a long time. You won't have to fix anything. I've heard about this before, so I had a 22 millimeter speaker in my VZ, my Venzalo, on a Verso board, and it was so stinking quiet. It really made me upset because I spent like a year waiting to build that thing, and I just threw all speaker 20. I was like, 22 millimeter speakers can go kick rocks, man. I don't care about them. And then, man, it got dark in here. Huh? And then after hearing this and seeing that, maybe I might have jumped the gun on that one. Like there's an application form if you have the right resonance, and I guess that's why it's super tight. I don't know. It just works really well. It just works really well. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. I have, for those of you who stuck around 30 minutes, this is only for people who actually listened to my whole video. Some of y'all cheat, probably skip to the end though. I have the opportunity, talking about different soundboards, I have the opportunity, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna tease you. I got a little something in here. I was lucky enough to get on a special VIP list, and I have Golden Harvest V3 that I'm going to be sampling and reviewing, or sampling. I'm going to be installing and reviewing very shortly, hopefully tomorrow. So you'll keep an eye out for that. That'll do it for this. Hopefully I still feel like I made it, because I never went to sleep, and I count days by going to sleep and waking up. So technically Fancy Week never stopped. It's just on a weird time zone. Alright guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Joss, let me know. I'm going to change up some settings. You know I like to play with the settings and make them super fancy for you. Let me know, and I'll send this back ASAP. And then also, Nevin, if you're watching, I'll send you some wood veneer on that day too. So trying to stay ahead of everything, guys. I got a lot of people messaging me, a lot of people asking me things, and I love talking to everyone and making friends out of this hobby, helping those who have questions on things I had questions on when I first started. It's one of my favorite things about the hobby, is giving back into people who want to build and enjoy the same stuff that I do. And so I try very hard to get back to all of you guys, and I hope that if I haven't, you don't think that I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I spend a lot of time troubleshooting with people, helping them out. I'm tech support, man. I'm lightsaber tech support, but I enjoy it, and yeah, I try very hard to make sure that if I can answer, if I can help you, if I can walk you through it, hit me up, man. Just bear with me, because I'm in quarantine, man. You know, it's just because I'm sitting here making lightsabers don't mean I'm tired. I mean, I spent a good like 4 hours on this thing. All right, guys, that's enough complaining. Stay fancy, stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.